Hello and welcome, or welcome back if you've been around for a little while. My name's Lydia, and I am an accent and speech coach who works with performers and professionals all around the globe. Today, we are talking about difficult sounds when speaking American English, particularly for Russian speakers. Over on my Instagram, I made a reel talking about some of these sounds, so be sure to check it out on Instagram at Accentuated Speech. But today I want to go a little bit more in depth about some of the sounds that are particularly challenging for Russian speakers when trying to speak English with an American accent. Before we get into it, please be sure to subscribe to this channel to find out more tips related to accent and speaking English. Alright, here are three of the toughest sounds that I think Russian speakers would struggle with when trying to speak American English. The first sound is going to be the A vowel. This one is particularly challenging for Russian speakers because this A does not exist in the Russian language. This A lives somewhere between the vowels E and A, which you're probably more familiar with these two already. We want to find the middle ground with spacing in between that E and A sound. So I'm thinking about opening up tall, but also wide. I like to visualize biting into an apple. Ah, that's going to help me find the space that I need to create this bright, short ah sound. The second sound that can be tricky for Russian speakers is going to be the NG consonant. So think words that end with ing. I'm talking about the ending here. No, it's not just a long N sound, but it's this consonant that happens pretty far back in the mouth. To get the placement here, we want to think about either a K or a G sound, so that k, k or g, g. The back of your tongue is touching something for a brief moment before we pronounce those K and G sounds. We want to hold on to this placement with the tongue. That's going to give us our NG consonant. You can give this a try with any of those ing words. That's the sound, that's the placement that we want to feel for every time. And lastly, W and V swaps. So these are really common swaps for Russian speakers because these two sounds are really similar to each other in their placement. So for the W, we want to think about the lips quickly expanding. This is a pretty short consonant in comparison to V, with the top teeth and the bottom lip connected together. We're able to extend this V sound a lot more than that W. We don't typically do this in conversation per se, but this is something that you can do to help practice separate and distinguish your W's and V's. The nice thing about W and V, even though the letters look alike, and that is also what can create some confusion, they're never going to be switched around in your words. Any word that has a V is going to be pronounced as a V, and W, that letter is never going to give us the same sound. There we go. Those are the three toughest sounds for Russian speakers when practicing American English. Let me know in the comments which of these three sounds you think are the toughest, and if you have any more questions about American accent or pronunciation. Thank you, and I will see you back here soon.